Well, the SAVE Act, the bill to protect voter integrity in federal elections, passed in the House 220 to 208.
You've got to be kidding me.
Who were the 208 who voted against it?
Don't say it, don't say it.
All Democrats.
I'm shocked.
Why? Because they're saying it's racist.
What you talking about, Willie?
I'm Jazz Berganzo, and this. These are the same Democrats who said blacks can't operate a computer nor the internet.
That's racist!
And they're saying, how else can we win elections by having illegals vote for us? But it's what's next. Hey, happy Monday, ladies and gentlemen. Jazz Berganzo, what's next? Your daily dose, common sense, facts, and salt. Hope you guys are feeling good today. Of course, it's Monday. As I have a tendency to say, new week, new day, new bullshit. And of course, this falls right into that bullshit category. But this happened late Thursday. Did you know that they were voting on a bill for voter ID? You know, the same voter ID that we use every day, to get a credit card, buy a car, purchase a house, prescription drugs, these things. Well, 208 voted against the measure, 220 voted in favor of it. Who were the 208? Some rhinos? No. Straight up Democrat. All Democrats voted for it. Why? Because they say it's racist, and how dare you ask, non-citizens to provide ID so that they can vote? Because how else are Democrats going to win elections? But it's racist. Clown show. And here we go. This comes out of Fox News. Dems fight bill to stop illegal immigrant voting despite polls showing overwhelming voter support. 208 Democrats voted on Thursday against a Trump-backed measure that would crack down on non-citizen voting. The House passed the Safeguarding American Voter Eligibility Act on Thursday, with 208 Democrats voting against it, and a Trump-backed measure that would crack down on non-citizen voting. The SAVE Act, which passed 220 to 208, now heads to the Senate, where it needs the support of some Democrats to get the 60-vote threshold. Democrats have rejected the bill, despite polls indicating bipartisan support for voter ID requirements. A Gallup poll recently released prior to the 2024 election found that 84% of respondents favoring required photo ID to vote, and 83% support requiring proof of citizenship to register to vote for the first time. If passed in the Senate and signed by Donald Trump, the SAVE Act, represented by Chip Roy, would require voters to obtain proof of citizenship in person before they can register at a federal election, and it would remove non-citizens, i.e. illegals, from voter rolls. Quote, after 4 years of mass illegal immigration facilitated by the Dementia administration, it's more important now than ever to ensure only American citizens are allowed to vote in American elections. Gee, what a concept. By passing the SAVE Act, House Republicans are once again proving our commitment to defending the will of the American people, House Majority Whip Tom Emmer of Minnesota told Fox. Meanwhile, what are the Democrats doing? Well, the Democrats are rejecting the implication that illegal immigrants are voting in elections. How dare you say illegals are voting for us when they're clearly voting for us? 19 Democrat-led states and Democrat leaders sued the Trump administration election integrity executive order requiring proof of citizenship to vote in American elections. If that doesn't tell you that these motherfuckers don't give about American citizens and only care about illegals first, then, dude, you're retarded. Quote, non-citizens attempting to register to vote is exceedingly rare, and if they do, they face severe consequences, including fines up to 5 years in prison and deportation. Representative Suzanne Bonamici, Democrat of Oregon, said on the House floor, urging her colleagues to reject the SAVE Act. Yes, how dare you say illegals vote for us? Quote, coupled with President Trump's recent anti-voter election executive order, the SAVE Act would end the voter registration process for all Americans as they know it. No, it won't. Republicans have repeatedly failed to present any evidence of non-citizen voting at federal level as that affected the outcome of any election. No, there's plenty of evidence. Representative Joe Morelli of Democrat in New York added that the opposition to what he called the extremist anti-voter SAVE Act. Yes, because, again, how dare you be an American citizen voting in an American election? The SAVE Act passed a procedural hurdle known as the rule vote on Wednesday, and simply a simple majority of the House lawmakers was needed to pass the rule, allow for debate, and eventual House-wide votes on the legislation. It was first introduced in July 24 under former President Joe Manchin's administration and failed to pass through the Democrat majority in the Senate. Roy introduced the bill back in January, and it was more likely to pass on a Republican-controlled House, Senate, and the White House. The American people have spoken very clearly. They believe that American citizens only should vote in American elections. There's nothing controversial about that, Roy said on the House floor ahead of the vote. The legislation was designed to restore the faith and save our elections and save electoral integrity. I'm proud to have worked on this bill with my friend, the chairman, and colleagues on the side of the aisle and others on the side of the aisle. I will note that 5 of my Democratic colleagues joined us last summer and voted for this bill, hardly a partisan exercise to say that we should protect the elections of the American people, he added. The bill made headway during the 24 presidential election as the Republican National Committee led voter integrity efforts in battleground states across the country. Trump had long supported legislation and held a Mar-a-Lago press conference last summer with House Speaker Mike Johnson affirming Republican support for the bill. Why is this so controversial? And this has been going on for years. Even for all you old heads, this was going on back when Reagan was in office. Voter integrity. Only Americans are allowed to vote in American elections. Why is that so fucking hard? It is for the Democrats because they know damn well that without the illegals, Obama would have never got elected. Without the illegals, they would have never got majority in the Senate and the House. Without illegals, Clinton doesn't get elected. These, if we go back a little further. But, and of course, Dementia got 80 million votes, more than Obama, but there was no fraud in Schneid in that election. No, there couldn't have been, between the, voting machines and the illegals voting for Biden. But what's not mentioned in this article, and I mention it in my opening, is that you have those Democrats who are saying that this is racisms are afoot because how dare you? Because, how are blacks supposed to get their IDs? This is insane. Some Democrats have said that. And yet these are the same Democrats who said that blacks don't know how to operate a computer nor navigate the internet. So there's that. But at the end of the day, is it going to need help in the Senate to get that 60 vote? Yes. Will they get more Democrats? I think so. To me, this is just common sense. Why is that you got states who don't have an issue? Let me give you a perfect example. Ohio. Ohio passed voter ID. And yet, where's the controversy? Where are people screaming in Ohio streets going, oh my gosh, I can't get my voter ID because of racisms, or illegals can't get their ID because they're not supposed to be here anyway to vote in the first place. No, you haven't heard a peep out of Ohio state politics since they passed voter ID several years back. But that's just me. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Borganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this, please leave a comment below. Like it, share, subscribe to it. Hit that notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. Continue spreading the word about the show. Appreciate you guys watching as always. And we'll see you next time. Peace.